my 7 steps to winning as an entrepreneur. And this morning as I was coming up with today's topic and really thinking about and preparing for the video, there are so many moments that really define the past 15 years of the journey that Cassie and I have been on as an entrepreneur, and to really kind of narrow it down to the day-to-day actions that are necessary, right? These are what we're going to be talking about today is those steps that you can take every other Tuesday, every other Wednesday, the mundane actions that you have to take in comparison to, some of the bigger picture things that we talk about where it's like, if you buy this many leads and if you do this many dials and this many offers, you can make this much money. That's important, and there's a place for that. But today is going to be more about the actions that you can take. And realistically, this could be in anything in your life, not necessarily just your business. These are the core principles that I believe in and how to be successful in whatever it is that you want to accomplish. So hopefully you guys provide value, or I provide value. You get value out of today's topic. Once I'm done, I don't know, it should probably take 25, 30 minutes for me to get through the 7 steps. And then I'll open it up for Q&A like we've been doing the past several Tuesdays. Hopefully you guys like that. See who we got in the house here today. We got Mr. Robert Blaine. We got Steven Shackelford saying, let's freaking go, RJ, with that Arkansas Razorback over there. Can always count every Tuesday at 2:22. You're dropping some fire. Appreciate that, Steven. Katina. What's up, Katina? Excited to catch you live. Excited to have you here. Anil TU in the house. Yes, sir. Tori Madden in the house as well. Man, you guys that are not in TU, you missed a banger this morning. Man, we did the implementation call. I went through a call review, and then I opened it up to the group, and I said, you guys want to watch me do this live? And they're like, yeah. So that, because we're on Zoom, I can actually share my screen and show all the actions. And Neil was like, man, it would be awesome if I could watch you navigate your computer. And so I was like, all right, let's do it. So I shared my screen, showed them me purchasing the leads from Speed to Lead. I bought 4 leads, 2 wrong numbers, refunds, 1 no answer, voicemail. The 4th, picked up the phone, went into it with super confidence, and was able to get the contract signed. Man, it was awesome. Love being able to show the fam how we do it and give them the confidence. And there's going to be an underlying theme with that. I think part of today's video and me thinking about today's topic going into that implementation call kind of helped me go into that seller call with the confidence that I have, because ultimately when we think about everything that we're going to go through today that I've written down, having success or having the confidence to have success and putting in those reps and knowing that it should lead to success over the course of time allows me to go into any situation, no matter what it is. When I'm talking to sellers and I'm comping and underwriting, closing deals and whatnot, it's just what we do all day, every day. And so there's not really this like fear factor of whether or not I'm going to be able to be successful, because I know that we do it over and over and over again. That being said, let's get into today's topic. 7 steps to winning as an entrepreneur. Step number 1, find a consistent schedule. Now this, irregardless of whether you're part-time, you have a W-2, you're a single parent, whatever it is, you have to find a way to where your schedule can be consistent and you have carved out time to do the necessary actions to actually achieve success. Now, for us, and for me in particular, I'm full-time. I give 110% to everything that I'm going to do to this business. I'm all in on this. I recommend at some point in time, you have to move towards that direction if you want to replicate anywhere close to the type of results that we have gotten, or anybody that's full-time, which you have to keep in mind. There's a lot of your competition that is full-time and all in. So when you're part-time and you're not giving 110% because you're giving part of that to something else, understand that your competition that is 110% is going to be beating you just because of the amount of commitment that they're giving, the amount of consistency with their schedule that they're going to give. It's a numbers game. Okay, so you have to move towards that at some point in time. Now, getting back to the consistent schedule, I'm talking about consistent in the time that I start, consistent in the time that I stop, consistent action that I take at certain points in time. For example, what did Steven just say at the beginning of this? I can always count on RJ every Tuesday at 2:22 p.m. to drop some fire. That's what I mean by consistent schedule. You guys don't have a question of whether or not I'm going to go live on Tuesday at 2:22, not 2:21, not 2:23. It's every single Tuesday at 2:22 p.m. What this allows me to do is all of the other necessary actions that I have to do in order to be sitting right here at this desk at 2:22. I know when to do those. It's funny, when I do my onboarding for the Titanium University, we've done 14 of them now. And I always preach inside of that about schedule your day, have accountability to your schedule, plan your day, know what that's going to look like. And I always make everybody laugh when I tell the example of, guys, I know when I'm going to pee throughout the day. Like, that's how planned out I am. There is a consistent schedule of, hey, this is when this is going to take place. This is when there's going to be breaks. This is when I'm going to eat. This is when I'm going to do these things. You have to have that consistency, because I don't have to think about what should I be doing right now. I already know that going into each and every moment during the day. Now, I use this as an example because I remember back when I got started as an entrepreneur, even before wholesaling. I'm talking about the 2012, 2013, 2014 years. I remember Cassie and I were really good about, getting the day started consistently. 9 o'clock has always been kind of like our start time. But I remember there would be times where I would just kind of sit there and blankly stare at my laptop or at my computer and just think to myself, I know I need to be doing something, but I don't know what that is yet. And I was trying to figure out what I was going to do to generate business, right? What marketing effort could I do? What could I do to scrounge up some leads, right? We were running a general contracting business. So it was like, I just need to find someone that needs me to remodel their bathroom or the kitchen or new floors or paint or something. How can I do that? So I was constantly just trying to figure out how I was going to generate business. And I was always just thinking, what should I be doing? Part of the issue is that I didn't understand, I didn't have a process to my business. I didn't understand what I should be doing on a daily basis. This is why I am literally every single day bringing you guys content explaining this is what you should be doing throughout your day in your wholesaling business. This is why I love the fact that we have vendors like Speed to Lead, LeadZolo, Property Leads, where it's like, all right, you need leads. You need sellers to call. Here are sellers that you can call right here. And over the course of time, you can build up a queue of leads where you don't have to sit there and stare at your screen and go, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing right now. Just call all those queue of leads over and over and over and relentlessly follow up until you get in touch with them. And then we've built up the processes, how you talk to them, how you comp and underwrite those deals, how you get the contract signed. Then we even just gave you the closing coordination checklist that Cassie rolled out a couple of weeks ago. And then we have the dispo formula. Here's how you dispo these deals. Here's the processes that you follow inside the disposition softwares. All of the necessary steps. That's all available for you guys for free. Why? Because I remember those moments of not knowing what to do as an entrepreneur. And now that we have found success inside the wholesaling industry, I want to help you guys realize the exact same results that we have gotten inside of our wholesaling business. So we give all of that away to you for free. Someone the other day on one of our paid Facebook ads for Titanium University said, there's no reason to sign up for Titanium University because all of his education exists on YouTube for free. Now, he's both right and wrong with that comment. He's absolutely right. All of the education does exist for free. We don't sell education inside of Titanium University. We sell implementation. The daily actions that are necessary, the help, the support, when questions come up. You're not going to get that from watching a YouTube video. You're not going to be able to sit there and watch me navigate my screen because that's what Anil needed today. He said, man, this is what I need. I got you. Let me show you. He can't sit there and ask me a question about what's going on in his business on a daily thing. That's what you get inside of Titanium University. We give that to you guys because we don't want you to feel lost like I felt lost at the beginning of my entrepreneur journey. So step number one, find a way to be consistent with your schedule. And then once you've had that consistent schedule down, you can execute 2 through 7. All right, number 2, create opportunities. Now, opportunities can be looked at several different ways. One, you need to have leads. You need to have consistent lead generation coming into your business. What was one of the issues I had when I was a beginning entrepreneur? I was always trying to figure out, how do I get leads? How do I find that homeowner that needs that bathroom remodeled? For you guys, it's how do I find someone that needs to sell a house for a discount? Now, many of you have an issue with money, budget. All right, RJ, yeah, I know. There's Coupon Club for speed to lead. LeadZolo has the marketplace now, and they're $35 to $40. But I'm on a limited budget. I can only spend $1,500 or $2,000 a month. I get it. By create opportunities, I mean you need to turn the lights on and let people know what it is that you're doing. It doesn't cost you any money to pick up your cell phone, record yourself saying, hey, my name's RJ Bates, and I'm a real estate investor here in Fort Worth, Texas, and I'm looking to buy cheap, dirty, and, well, I guess you could just go with that. Cheap and dirty houses. Cheap, dirty, and ugly. That's what I used to say. Cheap, dirty, and ugly houses. If you have one of those and you need to sell fast, give me a call. Shoot me a DM. Leave a comment. Whatever it is you want to say. Doesn't cost you any money. You all have Instagram. You all have TikTok. You all have Facebook. Post it out there. The other way that you can generate opportunities is by reaching out to people that are doing the exact same thing in your industry. What I mean by that is you can reach out to someone inside of the Vault, the free Facebook group, or if you're inside of Titanium University, reach out to other members and say, hey, man, I know that you're over there and you're crushing. I'm sure you've got some dead leads or older leads that you can't touch and you need help with follow-up. Is there any chance that I could work those leads and try to earn a commission off of them or get a split off of those deals? Create opportunities for yourself. No one is going to seek you out without you being loud. The louder you are, the more opportunities that are going to come your direction. So get out there, use your voice, use the social media apps that exist nowadays that you're just letting waste, and say, hey, Jermaine, you got any old leads that you're not working right now? Can I work them? Can I see if I can scrounge us up a deal? If you don't have the budget, there's opportunity that exists out there. You're just not receiving it because you're being too damn quiet. So make sure that, one, you have a consistent schedule, and two, that you are creating opportunities for yourself to actually gain results. Number three, relentlessly execute. Now, this doesn't mean you have to relentlessly get the result. What I mean by execute is each and every one of you, based off of the free education that I have given you here on this YouTube channel, should have a game plan. By a game plan, I mean this is how we're going to create opportunities. This is how we are going to talk to sellers. This is how we're going to comp and underwrite. These are the tools that we're going to use. This is how we're going to do transaction coordination. This is how we're going to dispo. And in return, that's how we get paid. That's your game plan. By execution, I mean showing up every day and sticking to that game plan and really thinking about, how well did I follow the closer's formula? How well did I comp and underwrite? One of the things that I've loved seeing recently inside of Titanium University is Jairo and Caesar. Jairo's been with us since September. Caesar's been with us since the middle of last summer. So he's approaching a 1-year anniversary. Both of them recently shared that they have been going into the comp portal and practicing comping and underwriting deals, older leads, to get better at comping and underwriting. In their mind, they've been doing this. It's not like they lack the training and the education of how to comp and underwrite. No, they're sharp. Iron sharpens iron. They're working on their craft. So then the next day, when it's game time, they make sure that they're executing correctly. They're actually utilizing the game plan that has been given to them. You guys need to make sure that every single day, as you're taking the necessary actions that you need to inside of your business, whatever that looks like, wherever you are, the lead generation, acquisitions, TC, dispo, everything in between, you have that game plan and you're focused on executing it. And then you're going back and rethinking about what took place during the business day. I tell all the TU members, one of the best things that I've ever done is record myself talking to sellers, then replaying that on mute and watching my body language, watching my facial expressions, and trying to determine, what am I trying to convey during that call at this moment, just purely based off of my body language and my facial expressions. Now, you might be thinking, well, that's pretty narcissistic, or I could never do that. Why would I do that? I don't have enough time to do that. The reason why you would want to do that is because you take this serious and you're all in and you want to be the best at what you're doing. That's how serious I am. I want to be the best closer in this industry. Even though I already am the best closer in this industry, I am still consistently working on becoming better. Not just for me, but for my team, my family, and everybody inside of Titanium University. I'm consistently looking at the calls that I had. What could I have done better there? What do I look at and I tell Jermaine he should have done better, and then I don't follow the exact same advice during my seller calls? That is getting to the point where you are executing relentlessly. Just like I say, you need to follow up. You need to make sure your execution on a daily basis is following that process and that game plan that you have set before you. Number 4, attack with confidence. I talked about this morning going into the implementation call and then asking everybody on the implementation call, hey, who wants to see me call a seller live, share my screen, show this? And those of you that were there, Anil was there, Mike was there. I don't know if Jermaine was there or not. Eric was there. Several of you guys that are watching this, you can chime in on the chat. Help me out for a second here. Going into this call, I said, this is the one. I called, no answer. Immediately went to voicemail. I said, Mary, you're going to answer the phone. This is the one. I'm closing this one. I was going into it with utter confidence. I talked to myself the whole time. I don't care if you guys are watching or if TU members are watching. I don't care if my team's watching. I'm saying it to myself. I'm attacking each and every one of these calls with confidence that I'm going to go in and I'm going to be the buyer for that property. I'm not going in saying, I hope this is the one. I'm saying this is the one. Now, my question to you guys that maybe are lacking the results right now, how often are you going into a call with that sort of confidence? Probably pretty rare. You don't have anything to really base the confidence off of. Well, I'm here to tell you that's incorrect. You do have something to base that confidence off of. Me, myself, and the results that I've consistently shown you. If you are looking at the game plan that I've given you based off the education that I've given you for free, and you're saying I'm going to use the closer's formula, and you're actually executing the closer's formula the way that I execute it, then you should have the confidence that it's going to work, that you're going to get contracts. There's no reason why it should work for me and shouldn't work for anyone else. I've said it time and time again. I have no formal sales training. I have no sales training at all. This has all been developed by trial and error, getting my teeth kicked in, seeing what works, consistently seeing what works, and writing that down, and then studying it and looking at it and saying, okay, if we do these things, it consistently gets us results. Let's consistently execute doing that. And we do that, and then we share it with you guys, and then we continue to show you guys that it works. You can literally steal my confidence if you're utilizing the exact same game plan that I've given you and say, hey, this is how Titanium closes deals. This is how Titanium generates leads. This is how they comp and underwrite. This is how they do TC. This is how they dispo their deals. Steal that confidence, instill it into you, and go into those calls knowing that if it's a closable lead, you are going to close it. That is all I am looking for. If it is closable, I know I'm closing. Number 5, accept failure. Failure is going to happen inside of your business, inside of one of your calls. It's absolutely part of being an entrepreneur. And here's the thing. You asked for that. You asked for the right to fail. Otherwise, you would just go work a job and work for someone else. And they would accept all of the failure that comes along, as well as all of the success that comes along. You want to be the boss? You want to be the big shot? You want to create your own reality? That's fine. Except the fact that that comes with the losses just as much as it does the wins. So often I see it where it's like, man, I'm getting my teeth kicked in. It's not working out for me. Yeah. Welcome to being an entrepreneur. No one said it was going to be easy, and they did. They were wrong. It shouldn't be easy. Otherwise, everyone would be doing it. There's a reason why people don't want to own their own business. There's a reason why the majority of people sign up to just work for someone else and have that guaranteed paycheck. There's nothing guaranteed about what we do. There's nothing to say that tomorrow when we show up to this headquarters and we buy leads and we call those leads that we're going to get a deal. We just know over the course of time, based off of the metrics that we have and the skill sets that we have developed, that we will inevitably get deals. But we have to accept when that doesn't happen. We have to accept when a deal falls apart, out of our control. Failure is part of what we do. The issue is the majority of times when we're newer, we don't make it far enough down the path to get past that failure. We start like realizing that failure is part of our journey, and then it makes us want to quit. because we don't like the way that it feels. And I get that. Many, many times. Like there was, I mean, guys, I guess I haven't shared as many stories going back to our pre-wholesaling days, but there were times where there was no operating capital. There wasn't anything backing us. We started this with next to nothing to our name. I mean, like legitimately nothing to our name. And we consistently took risk, knowing that that is what was necessary to get us past that life that we were living. And there was failure after failure after failure. Building a house and getting sued, doing a complete remodel and not getting paid, not receiving our profit on the back end when we got the job done, getting screwed over by subcontractors and laborers. The stories are endless. The failure was just part of the learning process, though. This past weekend was the Masters. I don't know how many of you guys are golf fans, but Rory McIlroy won. He completed the career Grand Slam, meaning he's won all four of the major tournaments. He would be considered the winner. Bryson DeChambeau was his partner in the final pairing, meaning he was in second place on the going into the final day. Bryson lost, and he had a very rough round. He didn't even finish in second place. And coming out of the tournament, listening to Bryson talk in his post-Masters press conference and some of the things I've seen on social media, that guy didn't lose. He just accepted the momentary failure of not winning the Masters. But there were so many things that he won throughout that moment. For example, there's a TikTok of him walking off the ninth hole, which is halfway through the round. And by the way, at that point in time, it was already becoming pretty clear that he wasn't going to win. He didn't have it, and Rory did. And, you know, he was already, I think, down like fourth, fifth place at this point. He's walking off the ninth hole, and he takes his ball, and he tosses it to a kid. Older gentleman grabs it, steals the ball from the kid. Bryson stops, looks at the man, and says, "I wasn't throwing that to you. Give the ball to the kid." He makes the guy give the ball to the kid. After the Masters, they asked him about not winning. And he said, "I didn't have it today. And yeah, I didn't get the result that I wanted, but I learned so much. And one of the things that I did learn is that I could win this tournament. Moving forward, I have the confidence knowing that it didn't happen today, but I do know I can win it in the future." And I bring up the story about the kid because also the day before when he was walking off the 18th hole, Rory McIlroy walked right past every single fan. Bryson stopped and shook and high-fived every single fan. Coming out of that tournament, Rory cemented himself as one of the greatest golfers of all time. That's his talent. But Bryson came out of it with fans. People love and adore him for how he treats people. And he sat there and he watched his failures. And he said, based off of those failures, I have the confidence knowing that in the future, I can succeed on the grandest stage of them all. And I feel like I will be able to win the Masters. The reason why this is important because as entrepreneurs, there's time where you might be in a setting and you might be talking about some of the failures. And the way that you communicate your failures and you're talking about those failures can win over people around you to support you and uplift you. You might be in a setting like Titanium University where you might be talking about, it hasn't worked for me. I've been in here for 90 days. I've been calling the leads and all this. And if you come across like you're whining and you're complaining and you've done everything, someone that can lift you up and support you might look at you and say, no, thank you. But if you attack it just like Bryson did and you say, Listen, I've done the necessary steps, and what I've proven to me so far is I know in the future I'm going to be able to succeed at this because I'm doing the right things. I just haven't gotten the result yet. Someone might look at you and say, hey, man, I got 200 leads that you could call on. Hey, man, I got $10,000 that I need to burn a hole. I'll buy some leads. We'll work out a profit share. You never know who's watching you, and you never know how important that moment is. Bryson has no idea how important those moments were when he was walking off of 18, or what he did for that kid on hole 9, or the words that he spoke after that event. But I can tell you, each one of those moments is vitally important. The way that you speak about your failures, the way that you approach solving and coming up with solutions so you don't repeat the failures is extremely important. And you never know who's watching. So make sure, yes, you accept failure, but you accept it with the path of not repeating it in the future. Number 6, maintain motivation. So, motivation is a very tricky thing because sometimes you can get really motivated and it can wear off. And then it's like, man, RJ gave this, speech this morning, or he gave this video. Watched him with his shaved head over there talking about, you're going to win today, staring at himself in a mirror, and it was awesome. But then, reality sets in. Maybe more failure starts happening. How do you maintain that motivation? How do you keep that in the forefront of your mind so you don't truly accept the failure to the point of giving up? You maintain that motivation by being consistent with your actions every single day and not changing them because you become more motivated. If you watch a motivational video and that gets you to the point where you can dial the phone 50 times or 100 times, well, that's a problem, because you should have been dialing the phone 50 to 100 times every single day. There's not one individual day that I walk into this office and because I'm more motivated or less motivated, I do more or less. My actions are as consistent no matter what's happening. You have to maintain your motivation to where whatever actions you're taking can be replicable every single day. Otherwise, you're fooling yourself. If you come in and you do more because you're more motivated today, then what's going to happen the next day and the day after? Make sure that that motivation that exists can be maintained moving forward. A lot of times people want to talk about an outside influence. Their children, their spouse, the legacy that they want, whatever it is. Think about yourself. Like, why do we not talk about ourselves? Like, man, we got one chance at this, one life, one opportunity to make a difference for other people, like our children and our spouse and our legacy and our grandchildren and whatnot. You have one opportunity at that. That's where the motivation should start, is that you want to go out and you want to achieve that difference that you make for someone else. I'm not more motivated today because there's 453 people inside of Titanium University than I was when there was 30 people inside of Titanium University. The actions are the exact same. I show up every single day, pour my heart and soul into it, give them 110%, just like I did a year ago, 14 months ago, and I'll do the exact same thing tomorrow. Maintain that motivation. Number 7, it's the most important one. Refuse to give up. If you've made a decision that you're going to be an entrepreneur, you should have made a decision that there's no turning back. There is absolutely no scenario in which I work for someone else and I have a W-2 and they pay me and I create their reality. Just there isn't. It's impossible. I refuse to give up on this path, on this journey, on what I'm doing. I have had every single reason to give up. Dead broke, negative balances in the bank account, staring at properties getting foreclosed, getting screwed over by partners, getting screwed over by people I barely knew that stole properties from me, robbed blind, not paid. People owe me money. I owe people money. All the different scenarios that you could possibly think of. Getting raided by the FBI, getting told by the IRS that, oh, hey, you're getting audited and you owe us $800,000. All the scenarios that you can possibly think of that would make people want to give up on this. And I said, no, I refuse to give up in these scenarios. This is not going to keep me from what I want with my life. And we continue to fight and battle every single day to make sure that no one was going to take that away from us. So some of you guys, you might be in a situation where it's like, hey, it's very grim. It ain't looking good right now. All right. So say you give up. How does that really solve the situation? You're now going to rely on someone else to be in charge of supporting you in your life. You're going to go work for them so then they can dig you out of the hole? Or are you going to look at it and say, why can't I do the same thing that those people could do and keep all of the money? Why can I not sit there and say, hey, if I focus on one thing only, can I become fucking great at it? Can I do one thing every single day? If you really break it down, this is what I've done multiple times. That's why I talk about the damn hedgehog. That's why I say, no, you don't need to talk to me about sub-2, seller finance, novations. You don't need to worry about all that. You don't need it yet. Some of you might. You don't need it all. You could sit there and you could say, all right, if I could create opportunity, okay, let's go back to the beginning. If I'm just consistent every day with a schedule, and I know I'm going to have opportunities, right? Because I create those opportunities, whether or not it's I'm buying leads for myself or I create an opportunity where someone else is giving me their old leads or funding me or whatever it is. I create opportunities. And then RJ's giving me the game plan and I make sure I relentlessly execute. And I attack that with the confidence that I have none of. But RJ said, fuck it, steal my confidence. He's got it. He doesn't care of the situation. He doesn't care if he's on stage in front of hundreds of people. He doesn't care if he's on camera with lives, no lives. It doesn't matter. I attack it with confidence. Will failure come? Yes. Who cares? It's to be expected. And then we make sure that motivation that you have in that moment when you say, I refuse to give up, you maintain that every single day. And understand that someone is coming to try to take away that opportunity from you. There's competition out there that's trying to beat you every single day. And you say, no, I refuse. I'm not going to give up on this. This is what I was meant to do. I have a bigger purpose. This is my opportunity, and I'm not going to give up on it. I refuse to go do this for someone else because you made the decision to be an entrepreneur. Those are my 7 ways to make sure you win as an entrepreneur. I say it because I've lived it. When I sat down and I thought, over the past 15 years, what have we done to make sure that we win? It's those things right there. All right. I saw a lot of comments come through, and I didn't pay attention to any of them because I didn't want to lose focus. Curbs, I feel you, brother. It sucks. feel where you're coming from. But should you forget the novation and just, brother, what I would tell you is if you have an actual novation on your hands and it's a good deal, you should find someone to partner with that does novations. Let them do the novation and you stay focused on what you're doing. You got to get money in your bank account. I just inherited a property, going to sell and get into TU. Can't wait to join and get mentorship with the king closer himself. Life has been tough, but I'm going to remain optimistic. Well, first, brother, I'm sorry to hear about the fact that you inherited a property. That's never, that always comes along with some sort of sadness. So I'm sorry to hear that. But man, once you get in there, I can't wait to help you out, man. Let's see. What other questions you got? Mike said, entrepreneurship isn't always easy, guys, but after 34 years, wouldn't go back to 9 to 5, even after the humiliation of getting title loan on my sports card. Just made payroll after an unexpected event. Yeah, man. I mean, listen, we all have stories, right? We all have reasons why we could give up. Curves, man, if it's not sticking and you're not getting any deals out of it, maybe get hooked up with somebody else. Where is that property located that would make for a good novation? Kente, what's up, RJ? Appreciate the live talk. Always helps to see you. Question is, do you believe your hard work made life easier for others? Do I believe my hard work made life easier? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't say that egotistically, but I mean, I could go down the list of quite a few people where I could say, man, my hard work made life easier for many, many people surrounding me. And I wanted that. I wanted that responsibility on my shoulders. I wanted the opportunity to be able to do that for people in my life. I still look at it every single day. I mean, dude, I'll be honest with you. I could be very lazy. I have the opportunity in front of me that I don't have to do what I do. I make the decision every day to wake up to do what I do. I mean, when my time is called, I want to be like, I'm on empty. I gave it all, baby. This is who I want to be. I love having fun and traveling and all that, but I love creating. I love helping people. I love working hard. I love successfully accomplishing something. To me, no one really cared whether or not I released a video every single day in 2024, except for me. I wanted to do that. That was a me thing. Now, I look back at it with pride and go, man, I actually did that. I haven't said it yet, but I also said, let's see if I can do it again in 2025. My whole team said, don't say that, RJ. We might need you. So, well, then I'll figure out a way to do it while giving you what you need. Right now, just started Texas, Florida, and Tennessee, all from Coop Club. After this call, I'm about to dial 25 new leads I have. All right. And Eric, you're absolutely right. The reality is the wholesale MAO is not far away from the novation as is MAO. Sounds like you need to continue to sharpen your comp skills, probably. That's normally the case when most people say that they have a novation. That it's just you're just slightly off and you need to work a little bit on your closing skills and your copying and underwriting. All right. Well, I guess I wore you guys out there. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Not many questions up in the comments, so if we're done, I'll head out of here. But yeah, man, listen, 15 years of doing this. I know this isn't wholesale related or anything like that, but at the end of the day, I think it's just as important that we talk about what it takes to be successful. I mean, it's hard. It's hard. It's a lot easier to give up. It's a lot easier. But at the end of the day, man, I am so glad I didn't give up. I mean, there's times, man, where Mike talked about having to, get money. There's times I had to go to employees and say, I can't pay you. I don't have money. I can't write you your check. There's times where I couldn't pay the bills. It's just been part of the journey. It's part of the responsibility that we take on as entrepreneurs. And now we're at the fact, it's just, I wouldn't change anything that we've done, because along the way, the failure made us get to the point where we could succeed. It was needed. So for some of you that are struggling right now, man, don't give up. I'm here for you every single day. So let's go win the day, baby. That's all you got to do. What can you do today? One time. Close the deal every single day. Go into it with that confidence. That's my confidence. Every single time I pick up the phone, I go into it with the confidence that I'm going to close the damn thing. Borrow that confidence. Appreciate you guys. Show me some love on this video. Maybe I should have had a better clickbaity title, get more people up in here. But listen, at the end of the day, I could have called this my 5 steps to closing 125 deals, and we would have had 300 people in here. But I say 7 steps to winning as an entrepreneur, and people say, I don't need that. That's why many people don't win as an entrepreneur. I'll leave you with that. See you guys.